The rain arrived before I did. The harbor had already gone to gray. I stood there at the edge of all that water and didn't have a single word to say. The wet stone held the cold against my shoulder. The pier breathed slow beneath the falling rain. I almost turned to leave the empty harbor, and then I felt it cross my face again. And only then I saw it turn. And only then the slow light burned, the lighthouse stayed on, and the rain came soft and gray. The lantern crossed the water on the cold and breathing bay. The light waited and nobody came. The lighthouse turned and the sea answered the same. I hadn't come to find the light still burning. I'd come to stand where all the silence pooled. But something in the slow and amber turning had waited there the way the old lights do. And only then I saw it turn. And only then the slow light burned, the lighthouse stayed on, and the bay held the glow. The lantern kept its crossing, and the night was growing slow. The light waited and nobody came. The lighthouse turned and it knew me all the same. Fire red husket through the rain. Fire red husket. The light waited. The rain arrived before I did, and the light had already been waiting. The fog followed the water, and by midnight it came in soft and swallowed up the bay. It crossed the masts and dimmed the slow lights turning, and carried all the harbor's shape away. A trawler drifted into white and vanished. The pier dissolved to shadows, gray on gray. I almost called across the cooling water and felt the sea I knew just slip away. The fog followed the water, and it carried all the gray. The lantern crossed against it. On the cold and fading bay, the sea disappeared. The fog wouldn't fade. The fog followed the water, and the night was unafraid. The lantern glowed a halo in the whiteness, a small warm turning fighting through the air. I let the harbor drift the way the fog did, and watched the sea dissolve to nowhere there. The fog followed the water, and the gray ran soft and wide. The lantern held its turning. Where the sea had been the tide, the sea disappeared. The fog wouldn't fade. The fog followed the water, and the night was unafraid. Token folk de vannet across the bay. Token folk de vannet. The sea disappeared. The night kept its quiet after the harbor had gone. One more wave, just one more. The fog followed the water, and nobody came that way. The white held all the lantern, and the gray forgot the bay. The sea disappeared. The fog followed the water, the gray soft, the sea disappeared. The lantern crossed on. The rope remembered where the ship had rested, still coiled and dark along the wooden cleat. It held the shape of something that had left there, and kept the knot the way it kept the heat. Nobody came to lose it from the bollard, the fibers heavy from the falling rain. I almost reached to lift it from the iron and let it keep the weight it would retain. The rope remembered, and the lantern crossed the cleat. It held the shape of something that the tide could not repeat. The ship had gone, the knot wouldn't fade. The rope remembered, and the night was slowly grayed. I was the one who'd forgotten how to wait there. The rope had kept it longer than I could. The wet hemp held the memory of the mooring, the way a man no longer understood. The rope remembered, and the wet ran soft and warm. It held a mooring empty where a hull had been at morn. The ship had gone, the knot wouldn't fade. The rope remembered, and the night was slowly grey. Towed husket on the pier, Towed husket, the ship had gone. The rope kept remembering long after I forgot. Nobody mentioned it, but the knot held what it caught. The rope remembered, and the harbor held its calm. The knot kept all its crossings, and the lantern was a bomb. The ship had gone, the rope remembered, the fibers wet, the ship had gone.
She waited by the pier through all the evening, the raincoat dark and heavy at her side. She never asked the harbor when he'd come back. She only watched the lantern cross the tide. She'd stand the way she always stood at midnight. She knew which planks stayed dry beneath the eaves. She'd let the slow light pass across her shoulders and let the rain collect along her sleeves. And she didn't need to call across the water. She only needed somewhere she could wait. The pier became a small and wooden country kept its crossing soft and late. She waited by the pier, and the pier remembered her. She watched the lantern crossing through the rain and salt and blur, and she never hurried. The hours ran slow. She waited by the pier and the lantern low. Unvented Vidkaien in the rain, unvented Vidkaien. She never waved. The evenings ran quiet, standing there that autumn. The lantern always crossed, the rain came on. She never seemed to leave. She waited by the pier, and she knew the slow light's ways. She kept the wooden corner for the cold and rainy days, and she never hurried. The hours ran slow. She waited by the pier, and she never waved. I know she waited by the pier, the raincoat dark. She never waved. That autumn, she never waved. The pier still remembers her.
The cup had cooled but kept the ring it carried, a pale brown circle pressed into the wood. The steam had long since left the empty surface, the way warmth leaves a place it understood. The chair across had not been pushed back under. It held the angle someone left behind. I almost reached to set it straight again, and let the small wrong angle stay aligned. The cup cooled, and the chair waited. The cup cooled, the room had faded. The cup cooled slow, and the chair held its place. The steam had crossed the window, leaving nothing in its trace. The chair waited, the warmth refused to fade. The cup cooled slow, and the table never swayed. The room itself had blurred into the raining. The walls, the lamp, the door had all gone dim. But on the table, small and sharp and certain, the cup, the ring, the chair remembered him. The cup cooled slow, and the chair kept its turn. The steam had crossed the window where the slow light used to burn. The chair waited, the warmth refused to fade. The cup cooled slow, and the table never swayed. Cup and blade called on the wood, cup and blade called. The chair waited, the room kept disappearing. The objects stayed behind. One cooling cup, one empty angle left to find. The cup cooled slow, and nobody filled the chair. The ring stayed on the table, and the rain held the air. The chair waited, the cup cooled, the chair waited. The room had already gone.
Never answered from the breakwater. It rang and rang across the empty bay, a sound that left the harbor and kept going, and nothing on the water came to say. The ship bell told its slow and lonely question. The fog gave back no shape and no reply. I had a sentence somewhere, but let the sea decide to lie. The bell never answered, the harbor getting quiet. The bell never answered, something in the cold getting quiet. The bell never answered, and the words just stayed unsaid. The lantern kept its crossing, and the silence rang instead. The sound crossed the water before the warm had thinned. The bell never answered, and the fog slipped in. Klokken svarte aldri. Jeg svelget ordene, and I swallowed the words. Something had already shifted before we named it. The sound crossed the water, no one seemed to mind. Neither of us moved. I almost rang it back, but the bay was already quiet. The sound crossed the water, The way old lanterns turn when no one waits. It crossed the empty water, past the breakwater, a beam that swept the dark for no one's sake. The sea held back the shape of what had vanished, the way a cold bay holds what it has lost. She pressed her hand against the lantern's window and didn't count the turning or the cost. The light turned slowly without being watched. The light turned slowly without a word. The light turned slowly without being asked. The light turned slowly while the rain still cast across the bay like it hadn't heard the things she couldn't say. The light turned slowly and kept the dark at bay. Without being held, the light turned slowly while the cold sea swelled across the bay like it understood the ship that wouldn't come. The light turned slowly and kept on turning numb. Lyset snurret sakte. Slowly, the light turned slowly. No ship answered. The sea kept breathing. The light never asked why. The light turned slowly without being asked. The light turned slowly while the rain still cast across the bay like it hadn't heard the things she couldn't say. The light turned slowly and kept the dark at bay. No ship answered. The sea kept breathing. The light never asked why.
The window faced the sea. That rainy morning, the glass held all the gray the bay could give. I pressed my hand against the cold, wet pane there and watched the water where the lost ships live. The lantern turned behind me, soft and golden. The rain came slow against the heavy frame. Some windows hold the sea closer than others. The water looked closer than yesterday. Vinduet vente mot havet. The sea looked closer than yesterday. The lighthouse turned after the harbor had gone, closer than yesterday. The window faced the sea. The water still rising. The window faced the sea. The water still rising. We didn't watch the tide turn. The sea
Kept breathing.
The lantern kept its crossing.
After the last ship,
I almost named the hour.
you didn't have to.
When the harbor had gone quiet,
Two of us by the wall.
the water remembered for us.
Nobody had to count it.
We didn't watch the tide.
The way some nights don't ask.
The sea kept all the counting.
And remembered for us.
Some tides just turn,
And you let them.
and you don't ask why.
Vai så ikke på tidevannet.
Have it husked for us.
The lighthouse turned longer than we did.
We didn't watch the tide. The water remembered. Some counting is never spoken.
Never needs to be.
The sea remembered.
So quietly.
The sea kept breathing.
The water remembered for us.
Neither voice finishes.
Further in began to silver. The harbor fog had thinned along the bay. The umbrella leaned and dripped beside the doorway, not folded, just resting now. The lantern paled against the coming morning. It's turning slower as the dark withdrew. I almost reached to close the dripping umbrella and let it lean and drip the whole way through. Not tired from the waiting, tired from the knowing. Not tired from the waiting, from the knowing. Before the rain left and the light came pale and slow, it crossed the pier still waiting where the cold had been below. Morning almost arrived. It didn't look like healing before the rain left, and that was the whole feeling. Not tired from the waiting, tired from the knowing. Not tired from the waiting, from the knowing. Before the rain left and the gray turned soft and pale, the lantern slowed its turning and the morning lost its veil. Morning almost arrived. It didn't ask for healing before the rain left. That was enough of feeling. For rain it drove before the rain left over the bay. For rain it drove. Morning almost arrived. The lighthouse turned longer than I did. Before the rain left and nothing asked me why, the harbor let go of the evening and the dark said its goodbye. Morning almost arrived. Morning almost arrived. The harbor disappeared into the pale gray light.
The sea remembered first when the harbor emptied. It wasn't that kind of ending after all. I left the rope exactly where it rested and let the autumn drift along the wall. The dark sea moved the way it always moved there, The lantern kept its turning through the night. I almost asked it where the ship had gone to, and then I let the question lose its light. Not gone exactly, just not asking. Not gone exactly for the return. Not now. The sea remembered first, before the harbor woke. The sea remembered first, before the morning spoke. I left the lights still turning on the wall above the bay. The sea kept quiet, and the night held it all away. Not gone exactly, just not asking. Not gone exactly for the return. Not now. The sea remembered first, and it didn't ask me stay. It just kept its dark direction while the morning turned to gray. I left the lights still turning on the wall above the bay. The sea kept quiet, and something stayed through it all the way. The sea didn't become calmer. I simply stopped asking it to return. Have it. Var still the sea remembered first, and the night held what was left. A quiet without a reason, and a calm without theft. The sea kept quiet, and something stayed through it all the way. The rope still there, the dark still there. The sea kept quiet, the lantern turned on. If I wrote a letter to Bergen, 1982, 20 years later from far away, I'd say the rain
kept me longer than I planned. The rest I don't remember how to say.
If I wrote a postcard to that cold and turning harbor, I wouldn't know which words were even true. I'd say I left the lantern somewhere turning, and that the waiting
was ordinary too.
Bergen
Husker oss,
remembers us.
Leiset som aldrig slocknar.
still turn.